goodness.
All right, we're live. We're live. All right, so hey, I'm gonna retweet this out. We'll just, invite some people to our space, and we'll hear your story. Did you send that?
Yeah, it should be out right now. So.
Give it a minute. You know, when you go to a party, everyone's waiting to get going before you start talking. The music's playing, you're just chilling.
Yeah.
Ooh, is there a way to add like music?
You could probably just play some music.
Yeah, that's true.
You can just turn your music on.
Podcast.
Hey, did you tag us in it?
Me? No. I mean,
oh, bro, no way. Even the Twitter thing shows it live, bro.
Live on Twitter.
Yeah.
Live on Twitch, live on YouTube, all at the same time. Now you can even go. I don't know if you can go TikTok. Can you?
Unfortunately, not.
I'm on TikTok live right now, but I was looking at it through the Twitter stream. I was like, bro, what the hell? Nah, I'm stealing this, dude. This is so sick.
Absolutely. Hey, man, something we live by here. It's called stealing shamelessly, right? You find something that works, you take it and make it better. So,
Damn, this is sick, bro. You guys are lifestyle right now. All right, let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? We're here today with the crypto cannibal himself, the NFT guy. What's going on, Alan?
What's going on, boys?
Yeah,
what's up?
Before we get started, there's some rumors swirling around. We got to address them. I'm pulling up my screen now. Here's the crypto cannibal. Hey, it didn't come from me, but people are saying this was a self-portrait. Where'd your inspiration come for this guy?
No, so when I was younger, my favorite skater was Chris Haslam. I don't know if you guys know Chris Haslam. If you Google Chris Haslam right now, just Google him and you'll see.
All right, I'll pull him up.
All right.
On the internet.
Hey, how do you spell it?
Chris, CHRISHASLAM, Haslam. Look at what he looks like.
There he is. Okay, very nice.
So he was my favorite skater growing up, and I always thought he looked like a caveman. And so, like, I based my character. Dude, so I'm gonna sponsor a pro for my NFT brand, and I'm like, imagine I can sponsor Chris Haslam. Like, that's my dream. Like, to be able to bro, that would be insane for me. Like, to have like the guy that inspired me to create what I'm doing. Like as a skater to like maybe even ride the board for the team, like that would fucking, I can't even imagine. But yeah, he's the inspiration for the art. Like he's the one that I got the art inspo from.
That's really awesome, man. But I mean, we were all talking before, and it's just like you said, in Web3, it's the land of opportunity, right? Who's to say that you're not going to connect with this guy? It's like if it were to happen anywhere, it would absolutely happen here. Yeah,
no, dude, most definitely. And it's cool because like, so right now, there's not a lot of, I don't really think I even have competition, at least in the Web3 space, because everybody's doing, and I think that's the cool thing about Web3 is like, there's projects for everything. So you like skateboarding, there's a project for you. You like weed, there's a project for you. You like, I don't know, tech and innovation, AI, there's one for you. You like staking and video games, like, it's so like, whatever you're into, that's what I love, like, to tell people too that want to get into NFTs. They're like, oh, it's because it's for like this, and then like, do you like any sports? Like, oh, well, I like this. There's an NFT for that. You into any hobbies? Well, I like to draw. Like, you can probably find an NFT for that. Like, there's something for everybody, and I think that's really what makes it like so awesome. Like, there's literally like it's just exclusive little clubs for people that like the same shit you like.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. So you've been in this, what'd you say, 7 months?
7 months. September 4th. Was my first day I started doing NFTs and TikTok.
So everybody's kind of got their story, how they got into the NFT space. So how did you get into this? Because I think in 7 months, you've come so far from when I first met you at NFT NYC, and I've just followed you. And I mean, you've done it, you've created it, you've got some momentum. And I just want to hear your story on how you got into NFTs and what inspired you.
Yeah, so like for me, it was really Gary Vee that really inspired me to start. I've been following Gary Vee for a couple of years, and I remember seeing a video about him talking about how, if you miss out on NFTs, you're missing out on the next best thing. He even calls it, I saw a video where he was talking about how he says that it's the equivalent to humans discovering fire. And I'm like,
yeah.
the old statement. Like that is like that's like the last crazy shit that happened. This was like Jesus resurrection or something like that's what you're saying. I'm like, what? And so for me, right, I was like really intrigued by that. So I wanted to find out what that was. And so I made a TikTok called Alan the NFT Guy. Didn't know what I was doing. Pretty much just as I learned in the space, as I learned new things, I pretty much just started to create content, started to onboard people. For me, I have a background in graphic design. So while I was onboarding people through my TikTok, I was also kind of like sharing information and then showing them like, hey, look, this is my art. This is how I do it. And so by doing that, by doing a bunch of Twitch streams, a bunch of TikTok lives, I'm actually on TikTok live right now, building my community and, just constantly. And that's a part that I think a lot of people miss. Like a lot of people tell me like, how did you get, well, I got deleted recently, but I had 29,000 followers. And, they asked me like, how did you get to that point? And I'm like, 500 TikToks, literally 500 TikToks, probably 40 Twitch streams, probably 50 TikTok streams, probably 40 spaces, and I've responded to 22,000 comments. And now you're like, if someone asks me like, how can I do what you did? I'm gonna tell them, post 500 TikToks, respond to 22,000 comments, go on 50 spaces, do 1 million lives, and then come talk to me. But most people are just gonna see that, oh, he got lucky or he just fucking did this and that. And I think like, and even for me, it was a big eye opener because I used to follow people that were in positions way above me, and I'm always thinking like, what are they doing? And I'm like, motherfucker, they're working. They're going at. This is my third meeting today, and I'm like, they're going there, and I gotta end this one later, and I gotta hop in another one, and then I gotta go do a live for my community. Like it's work, and it's crazy because like I feel like a lot of us want the answer, right? Like we want what's the secret to like building a community? It's showing up every single day and doing as much as you can for them, because that's all you can.
Absolutely. And along those lines, you mentioned previously that you were a server, right? You worked in the industry, and kind of the name of the game there is getting people to like you, right? For lack of a better phrase, at its highest level, the more people like you to some degree, the better your compensation. And so, is there anything from that you took and brought into Web3 that you feel like it has allowed you to kind of gain an advantage, or that you've been able to leverage through building these communities?
And everyone's different. So like obviously the way I promote, the way I talk, it's not gonna be the same as somebody else doing it. But like for me, honestly, it was I'm very vulnerable. I'm very vulnerable. So like for me, like when I first started, when I was making my art, I would tell people like, dude, I'm fucking 26 now, but I would tell people like, hey, like I used to live in a trailer and I used to do this. And if I, at the time when I started NFTs, I literally had negative $56 in my bank account. I swear to God, swear to God. And then so people ask me like, how do you have negative $56, but you got NFTs? And I would literally, like, I would get my Chili's check or whatever. I would pay my bills, and if I had $500, $800 left, all of it, throw it into NFTs. And so when you do that, you don't have no money in your bank account, and then you get an overdraft fee, and that shit goes negative or whatever. But like for me, it was like I believe it. Like I even had to a point where I wanted to sell my car. I was like, Mom, I gotta sell my car. I obviously don't do that. Like people listening, don't go and sell your car, please. That's stupid. But for me, I could do it because I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. Like I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? And so for me, like it's a lot of risk. Like I was literally putting all my money I had into NFTs, all of it. After I paid bills. So let me just clarify that for people that don't get evicted and then go buy an NFT hoping you're gonna flip it. So for me, like that's what I did. I did that for months, and I pretty much got to the point where NFTs overtook my life so much that I couldn't concentrate at work. I told my boss, I was like, dude, I can't be here. I can't, like, my mind is 24/7. Like all I'm thinking about is NFTs. Like it's literally affecting the way I work. Like I can't work. And so I left Chili's, and I was like, you know what, just go all in on NFTs. And I did. And right now I have like 3 collections that I've done. I've sold out on 2 of them. I've done a total of like 60 ETH altogether. And then buddy, I just launched my buddy's I helped my buddy like 2 weeks ago. He did 40 ETH in 3 days. And so like,
that's so dope.
like that, we have a team of from 7 months ago from being like a server at Chili's by myself. Right now I have a team of about like seven people that help me out. We're working on 3 collections. A lot of people don't even know because like I get hired to do collections too because people know I'm an artist. And so we'll have people reach out and then they'll ask me to do entire collections. And so like we're doing our collection, we're running all of our merch. Like I just got like my Cannibal board stuff. Like a lot of them are gonna start to get shipped out. And so like there's so much opportunity in the Web3 space that people think it's like it's not just like, and the thing too is like I buy, I flip, I fucking sell, I create art for people. I'm like, bro, there's endless opportunity here. Like, what is going on? And so for me, I try to capitalize on as much as I can. Try to like bring in as much like that I can give to people. And now we're getting there. My Genesis collection is at like 32 ETH, I think, and I think we're at 0.1 is my lower price.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so I want to talk about the first time I met you. So we were in New York, and it was funny because I don't know, I didn't know what we were doing. We're just standing there, and you come up and you're just like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, you guys look cool. What's going on? What are we doing?"
Bro, you guys are dressed like me. I was
right.
To them because they look normal. Not to say nobody in NFT NYC look normal, but these guys look like the cool kids, and I was like, I need to go talk to them because they look like I'd hang out with them in Arizona or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
You blew my mind, like right when I met you, because you told me that you had just made $30,000 last month off of selling your NFTs on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? And then you start telling me the story, and it was really inspiring because I think that, I don't know, tell me your background. So you said you're a graphics designer, but like, how did that whole process go? Like, where did you start when you said, okay, I'm going to make an NFT? Did you just upload on OpenSea, or how did you do that?
So the way I did it is very untraditional. I actually don't think I literally don't think there's like anyone in the space that has done it how I did it. So the way I did it was I learned I don't know anything about smart contracts. I don't know that shit. I don't understand Solidity. I don't know any of that. I just know how to communicate, talk to people, create art. And so for me, when I started in the space, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna learn as I go and get more involved. And I learned how to lazy mint. So if you lazy mint, all you gotta do is you pay your gas fee on OpenSea, and then you just create the art, you upload it, you post it for sale, and people buy. And so for me, my Genesis collection is composed of 500 one-of-one art pieces. And so it's 500 individual art pieces. And then so what I did is I got the funds from that, and I started like my actual project, which is my Crypto Cannibals.
Yeah, and so I'm pulling up on the screen right now, but here are those pieces. You mentioned them to us earlier, and yeah, they are sweet. You're totally correct. Not one is like the other.
No, dude, it's probably like it's cool because I think this is the largest one-of-one collection on all OpenSea.
Can you go to his website? I want to go through your socials because, man, in like a real quick time, you got your website, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter. I mean, you've got the whole suite, and it looks really professional. So you said you have a team of 7. So you've created this team around you to help you build and scale, and I'm guessing just reinvesting back into what you're doing. But then just recently you were telling me that you got kicked off of TikTok, and I know you had like 30,000 people on TikTok. So what happened there? And
yeah, how did you get kicked off of TikTok?
So if you're on everybody in the Web3 space on TikTok side has gotten banned. So I think it's really like So it's because we're talking crypto and we're talking NFTs, and TikTok don't like that. And it doesn't matter. Like I can post about an NFT or something, and hey, this NFT went up, look at it, and then it'll say, hey, banned for regulations and that, and I'm like, what?
That's it. That's all you did.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I? And then you got people like some of the videos on TikTok are crazy, and I'm like, bro, what the hell?
No, I've seen them. They're whack. It's like
banning? Like, what the fuck? Who's running the fucking ban section? I was like, that's go down. Go down a little bit. That's when I was 18. And you could see my friend holding a Cannibal board. They're both holding Cannibal board. That's when I was 18.
Oh, that's nice. And so, yeah, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that? You said, where does it say? Maybe it was established right
you
here.
go on, it's fucking, you don't see, go on YouTube and look up Cannibals, Crypto Cannibals, or like the Cannibal Club. I think you should be able to find old skate videos of when I was 18. And so I would go film with people. I'll make little commercials. I used to do like little contests and shit like that. They're whack. We're not gonna go see a super production. But it's kind of like a little history. Here, let me see if I can.
Just hit your. He'll put on yours.
Let's see what we got here. I've got. I got our live going.
Yeah. So if you look up Alan Reyes, my name, and then put Cannibals on the side of it, you'll be able to find my old YouTube.
Let's see what we got.
Oh, there you go.
No, nice. Is it coming out for you? Oh, look, click right there that says the skate competition.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my computer's going a little slow because of I guess because we're.
And then go look at the videos. Like click on my name and see the videos down there, so I can show you guys some.
Okay.
You can see some of the stuff that we used to do.
Okay. Oh gosh, I don't need to do that. Okay. Oh, nice. Here we go.
Like, go down, click videos. I want to show you guys a video, dude. It's fucking funny. Well, I think it's kind of funny. But look, go to Still Struggling, I think is a cool one. I recorded myself like skating around and that was when I was like in the little ghetto. Like I used to live in the ghetto, and so I was like, fuck it, just film your life. And so even since back then, I was like the same type of way I promote myself.
Oh, there you go, Cannibal Skate Club.
Yeah, it's like, and look, play the song. Can you play the song?
Yeah, I got you.
Look, it's the Baby Small song, I think.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is like a little bit of history into my thing back when I was in my house, my brother in the same fucking bed. Like, my brother used to share a room and everything. And so this was when I was 18. And I was trying to build myself. I was trying to build a brand. And so I think a lot of people miss that too. Like, people think that my success is 7 months in the NFT space. Motherfuckers, I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been struggling for 8 years. I've been trying to figure out like this shit for 8 years. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get like the crazy.
That's cool, man. So you live in Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking before, and you were saying that of your whole community, you're like the only one that kind of knows about NFTs. It's kind of how it is with me. And you're talking about how you're stressing out with your boss. Like, what are you going to tell him that you're looking at elephants online in the metaverse, and you're having a hard time with it? You know what I mean? Like, people just look at you crazy.
Well,
like,
they used to make fun of me at Chili's. Like, they used to make fun of me until I pulled up in the Tesla. That's when they believed it.
Now.
Like, once I pulled up in the car, they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker really."
And then you're onboarding all of them,
right? Now all of a sudden, like, they're like, "Hey, where's my NFT?" And I was telling bro for months. I was like, "Dude, you guys need it every day." I was trying to onboard every single person at Chili's. I was like, "Dude, this is crazy." I just sold. And I remember the day, I think I sold the 30K. I think it was a big day for me. It was like last year. And I told my boss, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah,
motherfucker, you didn't even make that a year here at Chili's. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck that. What am I doing? Like, I can fucking do this. And so I left.
But you know what, though? That makes you a believer. I think every one of us has had a big come up. And you see other people having this in the space, and you kind of question, is it real or not real? But when it happens to you, you're a believer, and then it sparks a different kind of motivation in you. I was wondering, like, so what was other than your NFT collection? I mean, the one that you came out with, what was your biggest come up in the NFT space?
I think it was when, if it's not my collection and it's just buying, I don't know if are you part of the Smiles off? I think you have one, no?
I had two. I actually sold them both, which
well,
I made money on them. I didn't sell them over one ETH.
I had 8. I had 8 of those, bro. And then like I was talking to people for months about them. And you know what? I love that actually happened to me because I held onto the Smiles. I sold most of them. I only have 2.
What are you gonna do? It went down to 0.2. You're not gonna sell, right?
Yeah. And so I held them for like a long time, bro. Like for a long time, I was buying these and I was telling people, I was like, look, check this project out. It was $1,000 at the time, which is still like it's kind of expensive for a lot of people because that's like rent.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I was like, dude, check this project out for months, right? Then all of a sudden they went up to 2.5, bro. They went up to like $8,000 each. I was like, holy.
And you had 8 of them?
Yeah, I had 8 of them. I had 8 of them, and so that's like 56K. I didn't sell at an all-time high. I probably made like 25 off of them.
Yeah.
But I only sold like 5 of them, which is still good. And so for me, it was that. But then I always tell people, like, people think, like, brand new people that get into the NFT space, they think if their NFT they bought yesterday doesn't flip, like 3 days, bro, the floor drops and people panic. They go crazy. They're like, oh, fucking the shittiest project in the world. I'm like, you've never been in the NFT space, huh? And
Yeah.
like, it's crazy because, like, dude, literally, like, if you really, and I tell people, you have to watch the founders. If the founder, like, you know, and I don't like to use myself as an example because I don't want people to be like, oh, he's pumping his own shit, he's chilling his own shit. Like, for me, like, we're going to LA, this next week. We're going to go meet with, DGK. Hopefully, we got, like, our boards coming out. We're going to do our demo video in LA. Like, I think, like, when I see other people doing something that I would do, like, oh, this guy's going to NFT NYC and he's a founder of a project, that tells me this motherfucker obviously wants his project to do well. So he's trying to build a network. He's trying to get connections. He's doing shit. And the ones that get rugged are the people that have nothing, right? And so for me, it's like, so when I saw the Smiles, I was like, oh, this guy's actually like doing events. He's like, the art's good. He has a community. The roadmap looks lit. And so when people would FOMO out of it, I'm like, are you guys fucking stupid? What are you guys doing? Like, he's obviously going to follow through with it. He's had a past record of doing it. And so for me, it was kind of like just hold on to it. And it, funny enough, 2 months later, it went crazy. And I tell people that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I tell people that, what was that?
Oh, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, I was like, no, I was
No, you go.
Literally thinking about this exact thing while I was exercising today because I was like, you mentioned earlier when we were talking, you're like, it's not easy, but it's easy. And I was thinking, like, what exactly does that mean? And so my first thought was like, to some degree, all NFTs go up. And I know that's not necessarily true, but what is true is when you invest in this space, as long as you invest in someone who is not a quitter, then to some degree, all NFTs go up, right? At some point, it's cyclical and the NFT...
get that part of the clip and clip it. That was a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. And that's why, to me, I always tell people 80%, obviously it's not financial advice, but 80% of a project success will always come from the founder and the team. If the founder and the team are not it, be careful, be wary. Because, again, that's, to me, the biggest indicator. So, like, for me, fuck the art. Gary V's art sucks. Be real.
Right?
Fuck anybody else, and people are like, yeah, but it's Gary V. It's Gary fucking V. He can draw whatever the fuck he wants, and he can sell it out. Anybody else? No, you gotta put out some good shit. But even then, Gary Vee shows he got it like that. He shows he's also about it. You know what I mean? It's like, I think a no-brainer for real is a Gary Vee. Like, if you can get a refund, hold on to it for the next 10 years because it's probably gonna be worth 300 fucking K.
Hey, are you going to VCon?
I don't have the ticket, but I'll probably end up doing one.
I pulled an Alan Reyes on this one. I don't have a ticket. I already booked my flight. I booked my hotel room, and I'm like, look, I got a month and a half to figure out how to get 2 tickets, and I'm going to do it.
Hell
Just
yeah,
gotta put
bro.
yourself there, man.
Yeah, dude, people don't know that I'm like the king of, my brother calls it DODs, decision of desperation. So, like, for me, like, I think I went to NFT NYC.
You did.
Like,
no, that's why I say it, dude.
Noticed. I was like, I was literally on the live. My friend, she was going to NFT NYC. Her name is Coco, and then I was like, "Oh, that's cool that you're going." She's like, "Oh, you should." And I was like, "Yeah, I should." And I fucking got on my computer, ordered the ticket, got a plane, and I was like, "All right, let's go. I'm going." And I told my community about it. And so for me, it's like I think like I'm scared, but I don't care. Like I'm like, oh, it feels weird, and I might like even with my stuff, like I might fail. Absolutely, there's 100, not 100% chance. There's a big chance that I fail at what I do. But for me, it's never been like a then don't do it. It's like well, only one way to find out. And so I think of like opportunities like that. I never like let down an opportunity because I always think you can make something out of it. And even if you don't get nothing out of it, there's still something to learn from it, or you could use it to better yourself.
Right. So let's talk about NFT NYC. So you get there. How was that experience? Did you have a good time? Like,
it wasn't really what I thought it was. I'm gonna just say that part. And I don't know, like I don't know what I was expecting really. It was like so like I don't know how it was for you. Like for me the fun part was like meeting people like you and like other people in the space and stuff like that really. But it was like a bunch of events everywhere. That's what I didn't really like. I wish it was more of like I don't know if that's kind of like what people don't. I know there's like so many things that happen in the space, but I don't like, and that's kind of happening now. And I don't know if you guys want to address that.
South by Southwest.
Like, a lot of people, bro, stick to their groups and they don't let nobody in. And I'm like, bro, that's not the NFT space. Like what I mean? Like I get it. Like you want to be part of these exclusive clubs and like fuck you, I'm in it and you're not. Like I'm a board ape. But it's kind of like that's not the purpose of the Web3 space. I don't know. I just like for me, that's the only thing I don't really like. Like I wish they would include people that don't own their shit too. Like to somehow like, hey, we're having a party, just come fucking party with us or some shit. I don't know. But you get what I mean? Like we're
no, I get it. So I mean, some groups are like that, some aren't. Like some of the bigger groups, it's almost like the Cool Kids Club or something. I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't even want to own your shit. I want to own a project that people are cool and then we can kick it and hang out. Like.
No, I definitely agree. I used to say that like one of the largest things that maybe not attracted me to the space, but kept me in the space was the amount of positivity that was flowing through it, right? That's the Web3 way. It's just like people uplifting people and being great together. And so, yeah, whenever I see
it's the motto, right? It's the motto. We're all going to make it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. So that was last year. I think WAGMI was last year. I think it's changed a little bit. So I want to get your take on where it's at now. Where do you see the space moving in the next year or two?
They're saying it's the year of the cannibal.
Mm-hmm. We gotta make something happen. And I think that's the thing too. And like what you said, right? It's like you can always bet on people that don't quit. It's like somehow one way or another there's a saying, you ask enough people to fucking, there's a terrible example, but it's the truth. Like you ask enough people to eat a fucking shit sandwich, someone's gonna do it. Like someone's gonna fucking go do it. And so for me, that's really like, for me, it's like you just hammer it. You keep going and you keep going, and something's gotta give. Something. It's gonna be, and even like for me, like, I tell people like I sold out on my first one and I have another one that sold out. But like on this new one, my Crypto Cannibals V2, I think I've only minted like around 700 of them. And I'm like, it's just one person away. Bro, you guys know how much money these fucking Web3 people, like some people, like I had a buddy of mine, he was like, oh yeah, I'm down 40K. I'm like, bro, what? You fucking down 40K? He's like, yeah, man, sucks. And he's like, anyways, what are you doing today? I'm like, bro, you just lost $40,000. Like, he's like, yeah, it happened.
You better chill.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, like one person can move a whole fucking thing. Literally, like just one connection can change your entire life. And so for me, I know that opportunity is gonna come. And whether it doesn't come, I'll do it myself. I'll fucking one by one, motherfucker. We're gonna build this ship.
You don't get in the front door, you get in the back door. You don't get in the back door, you get in the side door.
Yeah, bro. That's
crawl through the roof.
About. Yeah, you just gotta keep fucking hammering it. And I really do think, like, I really do believe life is malleable. Like it's really malleable to the point where you're like, you can manipulate it because you're the one that decides what happens. You know what I mean? Like I think that's where a lot of people also get the mistake. Like I can't like I want to manifest selling it. Like I gotta say this shit, and then once I hang up, I gotta go make boxes and put all my shit together, and then do a TikTok and get on Twitter. Like you can't just like expect it to happen.
Have you heard that expression? Faith without works is dead. You still got to do something.
Absolutely,
right?
you know, absolutely. And so I think like that's for me is the biggest thing. And so even like for me, when I look at projects, I'm like, what are they doing? Because if they're building times out of 10, long term, you're gonna look at an upwards trend, like what you're saying, especially if the team's like on it.
Okay, so a perfect scenario, you've accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish. What does that look like?
I think, fuck, that's a hard one, bro. That's really a hard one. And I'll be real with you guys. Like my dad has cancer, and so we're dealing with like this whole cancer thing. And so at times I sit down and I'm like, okay, I do NFTs and I do all this shit, but then I look at my life with like my family and like health issues and things like that, and I'm like, that is the I'm already good. I'm already. I would be lying to you if I told you it's the Lamborghini and the Tesla. I already got the Tesla, and I would give it away in 2 seconds for my dad's health.
Hell yeah.
So I'm able to understand that I don't need to go anywhere, and more of like I'm already here. My destination is here with you on this podcast. And that's really it. That's all. That's the only place I can go, because that's the only place that matters in this current time frame. And so I think for me, if I can understand that, I think I already have the success and what I want. Like I'm good. Like I already even if I lose all my money, even if my NFTs go to zero, at the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. It's not. It's
Doesn't
not.
matter.
It doesn't matter. No. Like it's the connections, it's the people, it's the memories. Like bro, it was super dope. Like when I was meeting you, like I remember that clearly, like it was yesterday. And to me, I'm like, I think like I try to think about it like when I die, I'm gonna remember shit like that. I'm like, oh, I remember I met him. I remember my dad had cancer. I remember I shipped out my boards. Like I'm remembering experiences and moments, not triumphs. Obviously, you're gonna remember your triumphs and stuff, but more like I think we're really here to experience whatever we're set out to do. You know, whether it's me doing NFTs or somebody doing a podcast, it doesn't. I think a lot of us, you know, even in the WAGMI world, right? We all want to make $100,000. We all want to make 200,000 on a flip. But in reality, I feel like if you're able to accept where you're at now, whether you made 100,000 or 300,000 or 10,000, and you're able to be okay with that and just learn to enjoy it while it's there, I think that's it. I think that's it. And don't get me wrong, like sometimes I have a hard time doing that. Like I can tell you that, but then I go back into my real life and I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to make all this money and I want to figure life out. But at the end of the day, it's not. I know that's not the answer. I know that's not the answer. That's like I know that's not what my heart wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'm not gonna remember when you made 60K. Now I'm gonna be with my mom. I'm gonna be with my dad. I'm gonna be enjoying my friends. Whoever's there around me. Whatever moments and experiences I got to like share with people that listen to me, that's what I'm gonna take with me. And I think that's the key that I want. At least for me personally, that's what success looks like to me. Like if I could be honest with you.
Yeah, that's
great,
beautiful. Something that we like to say is like you never lose as long as you learn something, right? And so you know, my best relation that I can say kind of to that story is that for me, I was really stressed as I was going into this game, and it kind of seemed like the better I did, the higher my stress level ran. Because I mean, if nothing else, it's like I have this portfolio that we're all aware of the scams or whatever that can go on in the space that's just kind of hanging over my head, and to some degree, I'm not doing anything with it. I'm reinvesting it, and so actually, you know, I'm getting married, and so I made the decision that like I've got to do something to ensure that no matter what else happens, I've won in this space, right? And so, I mean, I was thinking about it from a fiscal perspective. That's not, you know, considering all the friends that I made and that sort of thing. And so, what I decided to do was like, hey, man, you know, I've got to pay $10,000 for my half of the wedding. Let me just pull it out. And so now it's like that experience. One, I mean, I kind of got like a free half of wedding, you know, my half of wedding. But two, it's like now Web3 is going to facilitate this really beautiful moment, this really awesome experience that, you know, obviously I would remember my wedding regardless, but now I'll have just that Web3 tie to it. So it's just a really awesome experience. My stress and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I'm telling people that, but like, you know, when my dad had cancer, you know, last month and we were in Phoenix and I had to pay for a hotel for 30 days, I bet I was fucking thinking NFTs because I would have not been able to afford that on a chili salary.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like It don't get me wrong, doesn't mean like, yeah, fuck money. Like, no. I think a lot of people are like, and even a lot of people are very scared to talk about like things like that, where I'm like, dude, why? It's like the most normal thing in the world. And like, I know, like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I know there's like money to people, like sometimes it's like a very sensitive topic. And I'm like, why? Because, our parents and our upbringing and the way society tries to like pre-frame you and make you like think like, no, this is bad for you. Don't fucking do that. Not like, money's just a tool that can be used for resources that makes our life easier. That's really what it does. It just makes us more comfortable. Really it. Like, you get a better house, you got a nice AC, you can have a car, you have a problem, you can fix it. Like, it's a tool, but you're not using, like, I think, like how you were saying, right? You're using it as a tool to like, cool, fucking paying half of my wedding, and then you can enjoy that moment, with your wife, and that I think, is important to also, talk about with people and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Hofstra wants to say something, but I just got to make one more comment here. I'm going to pass it to you. They say people who are rich and sad forgot what it's like to be poor and sad. And so there you go, Hofstra. You can talk, say whatever.
It's funny. I was teaching a DECA class at this high school today, and I was telling them a little bit about my story, which is pretty crazy, and when I was 23, I sold a house. I made 60 grand, and I might as well have thought it was $1 million. I went and blew all that money. The first thing I did with that money is I went and bought an $8,000 IceLink watch. I was in Santa Fe, and I had a Tag Heuer. I tipped my Tag Heuer watch to the bellman at the Hilton in Santa Fe, and I just gave it to him. I said, hey man, you need this more than me. He was a cool dude. I gave it to him. Immediately went and bought a $7,000 watch. I had 4 hotel rooms because I wanted to feel like I was rich. I wanted to know that feeling. And I blew all of my money. Now, looking back on it, I'm 39 now and I can laugh at it, but I don't regret it.
No, bro.
It's money's just money, and I've been able to make that and some. And for me, this is more of a game. It's a test. I want to see what I'm able to do. If other people are doing it, why can't I do it?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that 100%. I'm like, bro, like I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, people don't realize that like every single human on this earth they're not really composed of anything that you're not. You want to learn something, then take the time to sit down, Google it, YouTube it, go to school, save up money. Somebody's gonna do it, and the person that's living the life that you want is really just doing what you should be doing. They're just doing what you're not doing. That's all they're doing. Like, what are they doing? They're just doing whatever you're not. Whether it's on Spaces, hopping on a podcast, going to meetings. There's no really border. The only border is the one that we create in our minds. And even like for me, like, I'm Mexican, dude. Like, I understand that I might get fucking criticized because I'm Mexican. Like, I tell people like I know what the real world is, but it doesn't stop me. I was fucking used to live in a trailer for 21 years of my life, but I never thought that I would stay there. I'm like, okay, this is my current living situation, but it's not my forever. And so for me, I was always very like optimistic of like, well, I mean, I'm here now, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be here forever. And, I think that's really what allowed me to really break through, is like having that consistent, like, I believe in myself and I don't care how or what the fuck I do. It's just like that belief. Like, bro, you don't know how much I fucking believe in myself. I have a tattoo like this one right here. It says, I always knew, in Arabic. And so I put it on the left side of my heart. And so for me, I was like, all right, you believe in yourself so much, go get it tatted. And so people listening to this, don't go get tattooed and do what I do. But it was like, for me, like a prove it then. Prove that you do. And so that's why, to me, I'm like, motherfucker, you got to tattoo. You got to figure this out. You got to figure this life out. You got a tattoo. There's no choice. There's no way back.
I pulled the Tupac until I got that thug life tatted on my chest.
Yeah, and so I did that shit, and I'm not saying I made it now, but I knew that I would get here. I got this shit when I was broke, dead broke, and I was like, all right, now we gotta go follow through with what we said. And I think that's it. For a lot of people, I really think it's just I had a friend that was super successful, and I remember I was talking to him, and I asked him, like, if it was like, how can I get like you? That's what I told him. I was like, how do I do what you do? And he said, it's just a choice. He's like, make a decision. That's it. And then he left. And he didn't tell me anything else. He's like, just make the choice.
Nice. Perfect. That's great. Can't say it any better than that. And yeah, man, it's so true. You know, now you've got really big things coming up, especially with your project. And I was scrolling through your tweets. I'm going to ask you to drop a little here. I don't know how much you can, you know, give us here, but we're going to have the Web3 DJ exclusive. So I was reading, and you said that you guys are coming up with 2 subscription models for your project. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what exactly that's something that I haven't heard of in the space before. You know, what are the benefits? What is it? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we're a skateboard brand. So my project is a skateboard brand. If you follow like skateboarding and stuff, you know about the Skateboard Mag, Street League, and the Thrasher. So like
Thrasher, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, even if you're not a skater, everybody knows about Thrasher now, right?
Yeah, so like Thrasher is like the #1 skate mag, right? So what we're doing is we're creating a magazine, and the magazine is called Alpha Mag. And so what the Alpha Mag has is pretty much this is part of the reason why I'm going out to LA. And so actually now that we're on the topic, I want to include you guys. So pretty much it's an online digital magazine for my holders. So if people that own my NFT, they get pretty much monthly access to this digital magazine that gives them crypto content, alpha, whatever the fuck I'm doing with my brand, like the skateboarding. It's gonna look like a skate mag. It's literally gonna have like, oh look, Cannibal skater fucking kick flipping off a 10-story building, and then the next picture, it's a picture of you guys doing the podcast, and it's talking about your stuff, and so it's gonna have like a lot of community, like whatever the world of NFTs going on, but as well as alpha content. And we just partnered up with a alpha project, and so all the alpha is going to get funded by them. I mean, provided by them. And so pretty much
what alpha project?
It's called Alpha Access. I think right now they only have 333 NFTs on their collection. They're like at 0.1. But the owner is Shmooney. He owns one of the millions. I don't know how to say his name. But pretty much like, so what we're doing is, imagine just by holding an NFT, you can every month like, hey, look at this is what people pay thousands of dollars of alpha for, and you already have it. You just hold it. Every month it's gonna give you whatever we can give you as far as like alpha. And you know, like I said the other day, you know, one guy in my Discord off one of my calls, you know, he bought in. Obviously, this is not financial advice. You know, I'm not saying to do this. But, you know, he was in one of our alpha groups, and he made $8,000 off a $600 play. This motherfucker, for being in our Discord, made 4 months salary minimum wage in 2 days. And so that, it's like, for me, it's like, how can we provide value to the community? And so, you know, talking about like, there's one guy, he made 2K, that guy right there. Yeah, that guy made.
I love seeing that, man. I love seeing people have a come up. I love that.
Yeah, because
I know what that feels like.
Bro, that's exciting when, you know, when the community's like, oh shit, the community's winning too. 100%. And so I think like, you know, that's big for me. Like, I don't just talk about like my project to my community. Like, I can just chill on my stuff and like, oh no, go buy my stuff. But for me, it's like I want everybody involved with me to make, you know, win. Look at that guy, Big Joe 26. I bought 2 of them. One for 0.1.
That guy's a believer. You know, he's telling everybody in his life, and they're looking at him the same way they looked at you at Chili's.
Yeah, bro. And so that magazine, so what we're doing with the magazine is it's gonna be completely free to our holders. So if you own the magazine, you get it for free. It's every month. And then if you don't own the magazine, this is where the subscription model comes in. If you don't own the magazine and you want to be a part of it, you want to look at the alpha and stuff like that, you just pay a monthly subscription fee, just like a regular magazine. So the cool thing is that, you know how the Web3 space is very expensive? You know, it's like, you know, 100, I mean, you buy NFTs on
Wait, are you dropping this on ETH? Is it on ETH? On ETH? Ethereum?
No, we're not. It's not. It's you dropping it on credit card. You just got to pay your credit card and you can, you know, go see the magazine. But if you hold the project, it's good for you. But what we're doing with this magazine is, imagine paying $14 for some fucking top alpha. I can convince 1 million people to go fucking pay me $14 for that shit. And so now, you know, make a little bit of math, calculate $14 times 5,000 people. That so you can see what we're doing. So you guys can really see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, 100%.
70G.
How much is it?
70,000.
70,000 for what? $14 for like 5K people?
Yep.
Just in my circle, we have a 5 million worth of people. And so now imagine, like for us, right? Let's say we drop the magazine first month, we get 5,000 subscribers to it. $70,000. That means that the project is going to have a monthly residual income of $70K to fund events, to fund merch, to fund IRL stores, to fund contests, to fund tokens, like whatever the fuck we want to do with our business. It will be funded not only by the community, but also people outside that are not in the Web3 space. And so we're building a subscription model for our brand Cannibals, and that's only going to further expand what we do, how we market, the people we connect with. Just things like that. We're really trying to innovate in the space with, I don't even think nobody's doing that. There's actually nobody in the entire space that's doing that, at least.
Yeah, and I was trying to pull it up because I think you tweeted kind of like a teaser of it or something.
I have it.
It looks sweet, and it's funny you'd say Thrasher because that's exactly what I was thinking of whenever I saw the preview.
Yeah, and so we're launching that, and then we're gonna go out to LA. We're gonna film like commercials, skate stuff. It's just cool. It's cool. I think it's great for the community. Oh, and then we also have we're also building right, John Kelly. He's the one I'm going to meet down in LA.
Yeah, they call him the NFL skateboarder, right?
Yep. And then check it out. He's rocking a Cannibal in his profile picture.
I love that.
Yeah, so he's one of our Cannibal members. We're going to go meet him down.
Well, tell me how that story went, dude. Like, I mean, that's kind of what's cool about this space is you might be in a Twitter space with this guy or in a Discord, and somehow you connected. How'd you guys connect?
Really, I think John, if I'm not mistaken, I think John reached out to me. And the crazy part is, like, we also have I have Andrew Schofield, the guy from Orlando Magic. He's a point guard. I'm not sure, but he plays for Orlando Magic, and he also owns a Cannibal, and he has it as a profile picture too. And I think he reached out to me too. And what's cool is, like, I think in the Web3 space, like, if you own a mutant ape, bro, you're a celebrity. You're I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather talk to a fucking Bored Ape guy than a fucking Lindsay Lohan. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
For real, like, if I could talk to a crypto punk, like, oh, dude, fuck yeah, I got a million questions. So they're like the new celebrities of the new internet. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why even celebrities are buying the big projects, because they know that, bro, you become recognized. Like, if you own a Bored Ape, you can drop any project. 9 times out of 10, it'll sell out. Why? Because you own a Bored Ape. Do you have any business background? Who knows? You could have bought luckily on April for $700, but guess what? You own a Bored Ape, and it doesn't matter what you post because you're a Bored Ape. That's the brand that they've built. That's what's created. And it's funny because now you have this little effect to where celebrities that like Schofield and them, they were interested in the space. And so they're like, oh, this kid is doing it. Why don't we talk to him? And so then I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, I do it. I have another guy named Sam Billings. He does cricket. He's a professional cricket player. We have him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we have like
international appeal, not just in the U.S.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, people overseas.
That's cool. Dude, I would love to sponsor someone in the UFC. Like, we have, so there's supposedly. And so that's what I like about like my approach. I'm like, I want my brand to look like Nitro Circus. That's what I want people to think. Like, I want to sponsor. If I could sponsor an MMA fighter, let's do it. If I can sponsor a pro boxer, let's do it.
I'm in Albuquerque. Dude, that's like our professional sport here is fighters.
We have a couple from Yuma actually. Some from Yuma, Arizona, and we have
you got Kings MMA.
Bro, did you see I'm sure you know with the news what Kane did?
Kane?
Kane Velasquez? Yeah.
Well,
he's a G, bro, honestly.
Yeah, he's right from where I'm from, and he, unfortunately that shit happened to him, but yeah, that's right up our alley. That's our people right there.
Yeah.
Hey man, I believe all that stuff's gonna happen because what I've seen from you, people when they drop programs, this is what they do. They put a roadmap and then they say, I'm gonna do that. Fuck that. you didn't even drop a roadmap. You just started doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just started creating and every day chipping away, man. And like you were doing a roadmap before you even realized what a roadmap was. You know, you just through the process of getting there. So just in what I've seen in a short period of time from you, I mean, I can only imagine 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you know, what that's going to look like. And, you know, action creates action. And man, that's the one thing I can say about you since I've met you is you're genuine, you're straight up, you're no bullshit, and you walk the walk. And you can tell a difference between, you know, those fake people out there and people that are really doing it. So man, I 100% believe you'll do it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Honestly, like saying stuff like that really, I mean, even motivates me, to be honest, because sometimes like I think we can, even for me, like sometimes I feel like a phony. I'm like, oh shit, like, you know, you're really out here, you're fucking out here. And
sure.
it sometimes it's hard, and I gotta tell people, like, and I think that's why, like, for me, like, I'm very vulnerable and I share with people. Like, if I'm struggling or if I'm doing something, like, hey, look, this is what's going on, and this is the reality. This is real life. This is real life. That's why, like, for me, like, dude, I've cried a bunch of times on my stream because I get fucking emotional and I'm like super sensitive. But I tell people, like, I'm like, dude, this is real life. Like, people that, you know, a lot of times, like, we put a facade. Even like me, like I used to do it all the time. Like on my Instagram, I used to only put the highlights, all the highlights and all the good shit, and I only want people to think I'm perfect. And it really, like, doing a bunch of TikToks kind of took that away from me, where I was like, just do it, just do it. And so now, like, I don't even give a fuck. If you look at my TikToks, a lot of times I'll just put the camera to my face. I'm like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. All right, bye. I just put my phone away, keep going, and I just, now it's more of like how you're saying, it's just action. It's just action. You know, I think it's just constant action.
And people gravitate naturally towards, you know, things that they perceive to be genuine, right? In a world full of phonies, if you can really find someone who's genuine, that's a gem and something that people will hold on to. Those boards, though, you've shown them a couple of times. I've been wanting to bring it up. They're sweet. I'm sure people are, you know, talking about them. Anybody who's seen them wants to get their hands on one. What is that process like? If somebody wants to skate Cannibal, how do they get their hands on the board?
I think I'm sold out right now.
That's awesome.
There's so you can, for one, you gotta own my NFT. So you can go mint a Cannibal. So it's a Cannibal. I think cannibalv2.com is my mint site. But pretty much how the merch is exclusive for the community. So that is exclusive for, yep, right there. So my merch is exclusive for my community, because obviously they gotta have, you know, what am I making? Who am I making it for? And so it's exclusive to them. And so you gotta own Crypto Cannibal V2. But then again, it depends, because the merch is the boards are very expensive.
Sure.
And they're expensive to make. And so for me, like, I always wanna make sure to deliver like good quality stuff. And so like these things are fucking like it's a real like good durable. Like I spent a couple grand on these things. And so pretty much just being you got to be in the Discord, because that's where I drop like all my links and stuff like that. But pretty much, you know, being in the Discord, owning my NFT, and then I have like special links for my holders where I'm like, hey guys, I'm dropping, you know, I'm going down to LA because I got to film all this new merch I bought, you know, like my shirt and stuff like that. So pretty much being a holder, and then whenever I drop the link down in my community Discord.
Nice, man. Yeah. Well, as soon as I get off this, man, I'm gonna buy some merch. I'm gonna get on the Cannibal tip for sure. No, it's inspiring, man. I love your story. I think it's really cool, and I think a lot of people would connect with it, especially people that, you know, are trying to figure out what they want to do in life. You know, just hearing what you've been able to do, and what you're like 27,
26, yeah. 26,
man. That's incredible. No, that's awesome, man. I didn't start figuring things out until I was like 30. I just fucked up my whole 20s.
Oh my God. And I think I'm old, you know, it's funny because like you say that and I'm like, oh shit. Like sometimes like I get in my head and it's cool, dude. And you know what's the cool part? I know for a fact we're all the same. I know for a fucking fact, because I had my friend as a buddy of mine. Actually, well, not a buddy of mine, but you know the guy, I keep bringing back the Smiles guy. He
Ali, right?
Wahid. So he did like 2 million, I think, on his. I think it's past more than 2 million now. But he did a couple mil on his project. I remember I was in a space, and I was just listening to him. And I asked him like for advice, and I was talking to him and stuff like that. And he was talking about like when he was doing it, like, and people were dropping his floor, how he was stressing out. He had like, thoughts about it, and like I was like, oh, this guy like fucking, you would think like, oh, you made millions. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you gotta have the ultimate life and shit like that. And he's just regular kid, just like me, stresses out, fucking panics, like gets in his head, and I'm like, oh shit, it's just the same thing, different levels.
Hey, can you see the chat? I think someone in here asked. He said, I'm a 3D artist. Maybe you're interested in working on some NFT projects. Is that Adams?
Yeah, I can see it.
And then another one, do you see chat? I don't know. Can you see the chat on that?
Oh, yeah, I see it. I think he responded in the private chat. Nice.
It's on Twitch. It says it's from
Twitch.
It's
on Twitch.
Oh, shit, we're live on YouTube, too?
Yeah. YouTube, Twitch. Hey, pretty soon we're going to figure out how to live stream 20 at a time, man. It's called optimization. Automate.
He said, okay, he said, don't know where you look. So I'm going to say, I'm going to pull up your socials right now, Alan, so he can check them all out. I guess I don't need to type that in the chat. Obviously, you're listening to me. So let me go ahead and pull up your socials.
Hey, Alan, I want to I want to hear about NFT culture. We were talking a little bit about this, but I've got my opinions, but I want to hear what you think about NFT culture, because again, this has only really been a thing for about a year, and it kind of mixes a lot of things, but where's your head at on that?
What do you mean in the NFT culture? In what sense?
Just culture, like what it means to you, or how, because like, I'll just give you an example. I think of NFTs two ways. They're either like little startups, remote startups where these people come together, or they're like bands, right? So it's like, oh, you're a guitarist? Cool. Hey, you're a drummer? Okay, you know how to do web design? Boom, boom, boom. And then you start a band, right? And then that band gets big, and then sometimes they start like other little bands, and they have their little spin-offs, and you have these little genres. Like you were talking about, you have skateboard genre. You've got music, you've got anime, you've got sports now. Even on Solana, there's all kinds of like gaming stuff coming out. But yeah, I just want to hear like as far as your take on it, because I think you've got a good eye for this. But like, just what's your take on the culture of NFTs?
I think like, I think most definitely, like, you're definitely right on the startup part of it, right? It's funny when people tell me like, oh, you're buying a fucking monkey picture. I'm like, no, you're buying a fucking part of a.
No, you're missing the point, right?
You're investing
in a whole fucking organization, and if that shit does well, guess who else is gonna do well? You.
Right.
It's literally like you're just buying. You're literally kind of like just buying the stock version with the picture. The picture is your stock. That's pretty much.
It's kind of like that though, because you don't technically have ownership, but you're betting on the value going up. Right. Yeah. But I do like the example because that's how I used to think of it. But the cool thing is, like, in community, let's say this guy's in your Discord and he just starts coming along. He's like, hey, man, can I sweep the floors? And all of a sudden he's just showing up all the time. You're like, yeah, dude, hey, just pick up a broom, start helping. And all of a sudden that's your community manager and he's got a job. And then now he's getting some free shit. You don't even have to have money. You just get in the Discord. You just start working. And all of a sudden now you got, some merch. You got a couple NFTs. You're getting a name in there. And then you start dropping your drawings, or you're like, hey, man, I know how to play an instrument. And people are like, oh, yeah, let me see what you got. And you put it in there. And it's like this organic, natural way of creating a business. But it's a business that's, for the most part, remote. Dude, and it's international. Definitely. And it can happen anywhere. And to me, that's the most fascinating thing. That's what I do. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. The business that I own, I've had it for 9 years. I've grown it to, just under 15 million in revenue. I've got 120 employees. That's my third business. And I just have a genuine interest in business. So when I see the NFT space, I think where the space is going, it's going to be, if you're not watching what's happening right now, you're going to be behind 5 years from now. Because all the big brands, you got Adidas, you got Puma, you got Gucci, you got, Nike just bought Artifact for $1 billion. Why would Nike buy Artifact for $1 billion? Because they know they have to get ahead of their competition. And if you don't start now and they scale and they got the money to scale, bro, you're not going to catch them. You're going to have a competitive advantage just by being fast in this space. And if you want to be like the next way that social media managers in businesses, do you remember, you probably don't, but when there used to be the spend on social media, it used to be about 10% spend 10 years ago. Most businesses were spending 10% of their advertising budget on social media. And people were like, I'm not going to pay for Facebook. I'm not going to pay for Instagram. Why would I do that? Right now it's flipped. It's 90-10. 90% is spent on social media. Web3 is going to be the new 90%. Right now it's like 5%. But Discords, when you go shop for something and you have a question, they're going to send you to Discord. You're going to go, hey, I got a problem with my thing. Boom, the speed that someone answers, it's going to be right there. You know, the NFT part, like that's going to give you the utility to do all this stuff. And so I think it's now being created. This didn't happen a year ago. This is all organic, and you've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. We've kind of come along on this thing, but that's kind of what I see on the how things are going in the future. And I think you're just doing it. So you're like, there's two ways to start a business, right? You can go write a business plan. You can go to the bank and get some money, or you can just start doing shit. You can figure it out.
There's what is that saying that you can have a good plan with no execution? It doesn't fucking matter, right? It's like a shitty plan. What is it? A shitty plan executed is way better than a fucking great idea not done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Sure.
so for me, you know, I 100%, believe in what you're saying right now. Even like I was actually thinking of that because I was like, what happens when the rest of the world comes in? Who do they talk to, right? Who do they talk to? And they're like, well, motherfucker, they talk to you because you've been.
They're gonna need to know someone like you. Like, hey, tell me how to do this. I want to get in the space. And you go, all right, it's $20,000 a month.
Bro, oh my fucking god, bro. The Web3 is probably the most lucrative place in the universe. It is like, sometimes I'm like, I'm weirded out of how easy it is. I'm like, is this like is this real?
Yeah.
Like if you really take the time to understand the space and do a little bit of research, it's not hard. And
No.
I think just people are lazy I'm fucking lazy too. That's the thing. Like I'll say people are lazy, but I'm lazy too. Trust me. If I can wake up late, I'll wake up late. If I can go to sleep late, I'll go to sleep late. I'm not fucking. My friend had on her tweet. Her name is Productive Procrastinator. I was like, that's how
That's awesome.
I'm like, bro, I'm the same way. But yeah, no, it's crazy because I was thinking of that too. I was like, who are the people gonna come to when it's time for businesses to build? Like, well, people like me, like you guys that are in the space that like, and it's crazy because like the Web3 space is like, they'll tell you like, oh, do this and it's 10 grand. All right, cool. Here you go. Like,
okay.
You should talk about that. Like the Web3 world has fucked up the way I look at money.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Bro,
I'll buy
half
something like $100, bro. Yeah. And then like, oh, that's fucking $100. Hell yeah, fucking I had gas. I was $80 the other day. This is cool. Like this is cheap. And I'm like, no, it's not cheap. It's like you're the way the money works on the Web3 space and in real life is way different.
Hey, are you messing around on any other blockchains? Are you on Solana or Tezos or?
Oh, actually, you guys want to see a new project I'm working on?
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, go on Twitter and look up Solana Slumdogz. It's a new collection I'm dropping. So actually, I'm probably gonna do better off on Solana actually because most of the people that are on TikTok first get onboarded through Solana and other, not really through Ethereum because Ethereum is so expensive, but a lot of the world wants to get on it. So I probably might even do better on Solana because
yeah. So that's actually one of the questions. So Mit Solo asked, what are your opinions of projects that offer staking and their futures? And are you staking anything? Are you in any projects where you're doing staking or any sort of like DeFi?
Yeah. So I'm doing right now. I'm staking Alethea AI. I don't know if you know about Alethea AI, but I'm staking that one.
What is it called?
Alethea AI.
No.
Bro, that is the craziest. No one talks about it. Nobody talks about it. And I'm like, bro, this has got to be the craziest fucking NFT in the universe.
What is it paying you percent?
Huh?
What's it paying you percent?
I honestly don't even know. I just have they're like these little AI pods. I have to go look at them, but pretty much you stake their NFT and it gives you tokens. I know their tokens went up like 31 cents over the last couple of weeks, so I might have a bag in there. I haven't even checked.
That's cool, man. Hey, so Mit Solo, he said, you saw it. Been following Alan for so long, man. That's dope.
Oh yeah.
That's Mit Solo, SOWO.
Yeah, I got them right here. I can see them in the comments right here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That-
So we're in this other group called Back Alley, and a lot of these guys, like I said, they spun off of another group. We all met in Crypto Cannabis Club, and they started like back then. It was like that was the thing you were in, and that was your profile picture. But then people started getting into like Gutter Cat, right? It's almost like they kind of grew up a little bit. I don't know if that's the right word, but your taste changes just like music. You get into NFTs, and then all of a sudden you find something else like staking, and you're like, oh shit. And then the gaming aspect of it, and you learn a little bit more, and you learn a little bit more, and then you jump on another blockchain, and that blockchain doesn't charge you $50 every time you make a transaction.
Yeah.
And you start seeing the possibilities, and you're going, wow, like I got to learn this. And it sparks a different hunger to try to understand these other blockchains and understand the technology. See, I got it in backwards. I got into crypto, and I had like 20 different cryptocurrencies. And then I was listening to these podcasts, and then they started talking about NFTs. Well, I was already collecting MMA trading cards. I was collecting sneakers. I was collecting art, and I was kind of trying to sell it. So all that stuff applied in the NFT space. And so it was easy to understand the concepts of how these things moved. But on these other blockchains, they're innovating stuff that you just can't do on Ethereum right now. And it's really cool to see these different companies getting in and kind of upping the game and trying new things. And yeah, I don't know. That's why I was asking if you're on any other blockchains. Oh shit! Oh, that's the one I gave you. Hell yeah, dude! That's a one of one custom art piece
Of Izzy.
Adesanya, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're probably like, why is this guy giving me an MMA card? I'm like, I don't know. I got a shitload of them.
Dang, Israel.
Yeah, Bob gave it to me. Dude, and you know what? It was actually my favorite. I think I told you. That's why, I don't know if that's why you gave it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my favorite UFC fighter, dude.
Bro, you know what's funny? So I went to the Beeple Gary V 137 premiere where they shot this documentary about Beeple selling his art for $68 million on Sotheby's. And so AJ Vanderchuk was there, which is his brother. And he was talking to people, and I went up. They probably thought I was weird, right? I had a whole bag, and I had all these cards in there. And I said, hey, man, who's your favorite fighter? Because I know these guys are in MMA. And then he said that they represented Tony Ferguson. So I pulled out my card. I had autographed Tony Ferguson. Here you go. I said, what is your brother like? He said another guy, and I said, okay, give it to him. And he's probably like, yeah, whatever, dude. And so I hit him up every time, and, hey, did you get that card? And you want to play some DraftKings? Like,
Dang, that's awesome. Okay, cool. That's a good one, too, to have.
That's fucking dope. I bet you he remembers you, though. You know what I mean?
That's the trick, because I'm like, that motherfucker's gonna remember somebody that comes up to him and gives him a something.
Yeah,
cool.
No, that's it, bro. You understand? That's a great, even like a great way to bring value to somebody. I think exactly. A lot of people like don't realize that too, right? Like I have people that reach out to me and they're like, hey, we need help on this promo stuff, and like I'm like, bro, you're like, if you go up to other people and you tell them like you want them to show your stuff, you're probably gonna get shut down a lot.
Right.
Like I'm nice and I'm gonna be nice about it and be like, I won't be normal. But a lot of times, like people don't really you have to bring value to somebody before you can ask anything. And so even for me, like with my stuff, a lot of times I try to sound like, hey, look, this is what we do, and if you want to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to, right? I think even like as a business standpoint, like you want to come into a conversation to add to it, not to take away, right? And I think a lot of businesses in the entire world, like if they just heard that would probably increase their profits by like 30% or 40%. Like instead of trying to fucking take, figure out what you can give. And then from that, you're going to get people that come in through that.
For sure. This is my shameless Walmart plug here. I know some people hate Walmart, but like you cannot argue. It's empirical that like they're one of the best companies in the world, right? That's a fact. And at the core of their business, their value is to give back, share profit, right? To share with their workers. And it's like the people, if you ever go to like Walmart headquarters, man, I'm telling you, like it's almost synonymous with like a religion up there. Work for Walmart, love Walmart. And it's like in lieu of that, they're willing to put forth an extra effort that, the people at Target probably aren't doing. The people at Kmart certainly weren't doing exist anymore, right? CVS is shutting down a ton of stores. I would almost guarantee that that's not in their business model either. And so like you nailed it, man. And that goes through proven corporate strategy as well, right? I mentioned that this is like a Walmart thing, but this isn't Doug McMillon, the current CEO of Walmart. This isn't like an idea that he came up with. This is Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, instilled this value at their core. And that's why, they're around however many years from their birth, and that's to be around however many years from now.
Yeah, I absolutely, 100% on that. And even if projects did that, they would blow up. I'm like, you literally, like, I see a project that has like a roadmap, and I'm like, oh, that's good. If that project just literally just follows through what they said they were gonna do, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go up.
So here's how I look at the NFT space, right? When I said that they're all mini startups, well, if you're just looking at the odds of business, 50% of them fail within the first 2 years. That's a fact. 80% fail within the first 5 years. So if you just think of it in terms of just what the stats are on business, that's why Gary Vee says 90% of them aren't going to be here. I believe that 100%. Because what happens is, think if you just came up on 3 million, you talk about the Smilesverse guy, okay? It's going to come down to who can execute, who can actually scale and be smart and hire the right people to build a brand. That's why when I see you on a smaller budget, and that might even be more beneficial down the road, because if you're young and you come in, like I said, I got 60,000, I blew all of it. In my head at the time, I thought it was a great idea, right? And these guys, if you've never had money before, and all of a sudden you get $2-3 million tomorrow, and it was that easy, you're going to have a different perspective on it. It's not going to feel like you grinded and you suffered and you sacrificed and the value of money and lived in a trailer your life. You know what I mean? Like, that is a little bit different experience than someone that just comes up on it and buys a Lambo and all of a sudden they think they're cool shit, and all they did is hit the timing right.
Yeah, no, I agree. And even like, even for me, like it is hard sometimes because like, this is like, for me being like, I live at home with my parents and stuff like that. So like, even coming up with $1,000 a day, I was like, oh shit, like this is crazy. And I think you just, you adjust, and it depends, it depends on where you come from. And, I think a lot of times too, like money just really exposes people. It doesn't change you, it just shows who you really are. You just got money now. It's like, it's you, but it's more glorified or exemplified version of who you are really. Because if you're a dickhead when you're broke, you're going to be a dickhead when you're rich. It doesn't really matter. If you're a nice dude, you're going to be nice when you're broke. You're going to be nice when you're rich. If you're cool to hang out with when you're broke, you're going to be cool to hang out with when you're rich. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, so we're coming up on like an hour and 15 minutes. I just wanted to, we're going to repost this on YouTube. We're going to cut it up, make it look a little more professional. But it was cool, man. It was really good hearing about you, and I love seeing all the stuff that you're doing. But where can people find you?
So my social medias are all Alan the NFT guy. So it's ALAN the NFT guy. Well, for the most part, my TikTok is Alan the NFT guy.eth. So you can find me there. I just post, daily content about just Web3, what I do, flips, alpha, my project, what's going on in the Web3 space. I'll probably make content on this too. Definitely, when you guys cut it up, let me know. That way I can repost it to like my audiences and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll throw some cool music on it. Hey, what's your favorite band?
My favorite? Oh shit!
Favorite kind of music.
Honestly, like, I'm lame. I listen to lo-fi. That's my thing.
Dude, I love lo-fi. That, if you're working, lo-fi is like the beat, because you're not listening to lyrics. You're just getting in it.
Yeah,
I had no idea what lo-fi was until Web3, but every single Discord has the lo-fi channel in it.
You know why? Lo-fi is set to a frequency that's supposed to like optimize your thinking patterns. Like the beats per minute on it has something to do with, I don't know, it just triggers your brain.
Yeah. Normally, like, I'll do that. I'll just listen to lo-fi. Honestly, I'll put on like Alan Watts or Ram Dass, and dude, lo-fi and Alan Watts go hand in hand. The perfect match made in heaven. To me, that's like I don't know. It's kind of like my therapy. I think about it because like I'm working and I'm just listening and I'm just hanging out, which is the cool part. I'm just like, all right. It doesn't really feel like work. I think that's why maybe I'm able to do a lot of shit too, because like, I don't feel like this is kind of like considered work, right? Because I got to make
right.
About this, but I'm like, just fucking hanging out with you guys. I'm just shooting the shit.
No, dude, that's so dope. And hey, I just want to give a shout out. We have a couple of guys in here. Looks like they've been, or girls, I'm not sure. Exec FPS, and So thank you so much for showing up. This is the first time we've done this live in this fashion. And yeah, you got to start somewhere, you know, just get after it, man. And you inspired me to get into this and to start doing this stuff. So I really appreciate you too.
Yeah. But I know we're closing, but I had a question I wanted to ask you, Alan. And, you know, this right here might be a challenge to any of the watching. But something that you said, I think it might have been in your bio, is that you are an worm, a bookworm, and you have yet to meet someone who has logged more Audible hours as you. I don't use audiobooks, so I don't know if you like have a way to instantly track that. It looks like you might be pulling it up. So as you're
I was looking at your books in the back, yeah.
Yeah, my question to you is, one, you know, like, are you reading or listening to anything now? And then two, is there something that you have listened to or read that screams like Web3 to you, or a Web3 must read?
On the first part, no, I don't. So what I listen to is like business books. So it's all business books. It's all that type of, you know, any mindset. Dude, a book that you definitely have to read if you haven't is like one like David Goggins. Have you guys read that one?
David Goggins. Yeah, that's on my list to read.
It hurt me. The Audible version is crazy. And I'll give you guys some super alpha. And so this is a challenge for you guys. If you guys get a chance, this will blow your fucking mind. Like this one is super crazy. I'm sure you guys know Think and Grow Rich, right? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yeah.
The number one most iconic.
It's dope. Yeah, I love that book.
Have you guys read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill?
I have not, no.
Bro, dude. No, bro, get ready to get your mind blown. Go when you get a chance. I'd recommend you listen to the Audible. Don't read it. Get on Audible. Download Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. This book was written in 1930, and it was
it's still true.
In 2011.
Dang.
80 years hidden, because it has like the shit that it has inside of that book is like,
okay,
you're not coming out the same. You're not coming back the same person. Like,
all right.
When you listen to it, you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's a great book.
All right. I'm going to challenge you back then real quick. You may have read it. I know you've got a lot of hours on you. So this is a book that I read in school, and I think it might do you wonders. Well, just the position you're in, right?
No, I haven't read that one.
Build habit-forming products. You have read it already?
No, I have read the one on the right side, The Power of Habit, but not the one that you have right there.
Yeah, you should check it out, How to Build Habit-Forming Products, because it's like at its core, you know, that's kind of what you're trying to do with your community, right?
Hey, I like that, Alan, for your subscription model, throwing just a list of books, because I was actually thinking about doing the same thing on ours, where it was just like a resource page for people that are getting into NFTs with, you know, just links to a bunch of stuff. But I think that's really important too. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. You just throw like your books. What do you listen to? Hell yeah.
That's the reading level. I'm a master on that shit. Like I can't I can't go any further. I've already reached mastery on this shit.
And how many hours is that at Mastery?
Huh?
How many hours is that at Mastery? Does it say like X plus or something?
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know if it tells you. It tells you when you're trying to reach it, but
it just means a lot.
I've read for, let me see, total.
Hey, honestly,
27 days.
Say again?
27 days.
Sheesh. I'll be honest with you. I think you're the first master reader I've ever met. Can't say I've ever met a master reader before.
That shit, it becomes a part of you. And, you know, when people tell you, like, what's your diet consist of, it's not just what you eat. It's what you eat, what you listen, what you read, what you fucking surround yourself, what you're fucking listening to as music, the blog posts, the friends you're around, that's your diet. And that literally determines your entire fucking future.
100%. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Reyes.
You guys gotta please read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Come back and be like, yo, what the fuck? That shit's crazy. It's good.
A follow up on the book right there.
Here, like, I'm the same way, but for documentaries. I guarantee you've never met anybody that's watched as many documentaries as I have. So you want some docs, man? I'll shoot you, like, just hit me up and
dude, for real. Show me some interesting ones. I love documentaries.
Oh, I got some shit on money that'll blow your fucking mind.
Like, I love the fucking what are those ones? The ones that like talk about like black holes in the universe and the cosmos.
Oh, dude, don't. I'll shoot you a couple.
All over those, bro.
I'll shoot you a couple. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, this was really fun. Keep doing your thing, and appreciate you coming on. And is there anything else you want to say before we jam?
No, man. I mean, if you guys want to check us out, you guys can go, follow us on my social medias. Everybody's welcome in my Discord. You don't gotta own my NFT to be in my Discord, and especially for a lot of people don't know, but when I do my VIP calls, like in my Discord, obviously not financial advice, but you don't have to own anything. You can literally go in the Discord, you go to roles, and you get the VIP, and you can be in there with everybody else. We drop a lot of alpha. It's completely free. I don't charge anything. So I mean, it's free resource for people to come in, hang out, meet other people in the space and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it. All right, with that, we'll cut, and we'll do it again next time. Thanks, man.
All right, boys.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. And Alan, it was great to meet you, man. Joe, really appreciated it.
Keep in contact. Let me know when you guys read the book.
I will.